We have Ben here. We'll open it up for questions now. First up, Mark Caboli, go ahead.
Hey, Ben. When the season ended, you let the organization know pretty quickly that you were coming back. That's obviously a difference from, your previous seasons. What made you so sure right away to let them know that you wanted to come back?
Well, I just, I felt it was the right thing to do if I wanted to play. I felt relatively healthy, all things considered at the end of a season. But just felt like I had more in the tank, and just felt disappointed about the way the season ended, obviously, and hate to go out that way. So just wanted to let them know that if they wanted me back, I felt like I could give them, everything I got.
Mike Pursuta.
Hey, Ben, when you look back at last season, the end of the latter stages of it, was that as inconsistent as you've been in a while? If you agree to that, what do you attribute that to, and how does it get fixed?
First off, Mike, you look very official with your microphone and headphones, so thank you for treating this as a professional environment. I appreciate it.
As all things.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, I didn't play well enough at the end of the season. It's no secret, and I'll be the first to point the thumb at myself. When the ball's in your hand every play, you have to make plays and you have to play better football. And that's if the quarterback myself is not playing good football, that almost, especially late in the season, is directly related to winning and losing. And so I'll take that playoff and those games on me is just feeling worn down, not playing good enough football at the end of the season.
Dale Lawley.
Ben, they went out and they got a lot of offensive pieces for you in the draft. How do you look at that? What are your impressions of some of these young guys thus far?
Yeah, Dale, it's been a while since we've gotten so many weapons early on offensively, and guys look great. I mean, but we are in shorts and t-shirts, and we're still waiting to see what some of the guys can do. But I'll tell you what I've seen so far has been really impressive. Knowledge of the game of football, picking up the offense already. It's been a unique year in the sense, and I'm not exactly sure how precise this is, the information is, but I feel like a lot of times in the past, this time of year, the rookies weren't here. They weren't here so early. These guys came in at the rookie minicamp and haven't left. And so to be able to have the repetition with those guys, to communicate with them, to talk to them, whether it's at a locker or on the field, I'm really excited about the group that we got in here.
Ray Fittipaldo.
Hey, Ben, what was your reaction when the Steelers asked you to take a pay cut? Were you hurt? Were you surprised? Just what were your emotions?
Ray, it was my idea. I told them I want to help the team out however we can. And so I went to them and told them that I would do whatever I could to help the team sign, the guys that are going to help us win football games. I've been extremely blessed to play this game for a long time. And so, that was one of the reasons I wanted to come back, because I knew we had obviously a great defense and some amazing weapons on offense. And so I wanted to come back to be a part of what I think is a special football team that everyone's overlooking, which is kind of cool too. And so in order to do that, to help get guys here, I felt that it was necessary to do that.
Brooke Pryor.
Hey, Ben, with the new contract and the pay cut, this contract voids after the 2021 season. Does that mean that you approach this season like it's your last, or are you leaving the window open to play beyond the 2021 season?
Well, Brooke, I'm going to approach this like I do every season, like it's my last. I mean, I think that's the approach you have to take. And you don't approach it that way because it could be your last, but you approach it because every single play in the game of football could be your last. Every game could be your last game. And that just means I'm going out to give it everything I have. I've never looked towards the future. I've always looked towards the right here and now. And that's what's important for me for this season, is giving everything I have right here and right now for this group of guys.
Joe Rudder. All right, Joe, I'll try to come back to you. Jim, call me.
Joe's there.
Joe, you're there? All right, Jim, you're on deck.
Had
Joe,
trouble with the unmute.
Go.
In that vein, last year at this time, when you talked to us, you said, I want to win Super Bowls, plural, which meant more than 1 year. Do you still feel that way? And, are you open to the more than 1 year?
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys get my words on plural and getting all that. I'm just going to give it I want to win a Super Bowl this year. I think that's always everyone in this building's goal. I mean, every building around the NFL, that's everyone's ultimate goal. So I'm giving everything I have to win a Super Bowl this year because it's this year and this is the most important year for any of us.
Jim Colony.
Yeah, Ben, what's going to be different about this offense without getting into detail? I know you can't, but what's going to be different about it and how can you guys be less predictable?
Well, Jim, I think this offense is going to be completely different. You'll see nothing that you've ever seen in the past. And, we're going to try and just throw literally everything at everybody. And so that we won't be predictable. And, it's new. I mean, there is a lot of new. In all seriousness, there's a lot of new. And so for someone who's kind of had a very similar offense for a long time, verbiage wise, it's taken some extra studying, but it's a fun new challenge. And guys are getting it, and hopefully it translates into winning football.
Aditi Kinkabala.
Hey, Ben, you have always, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this best. You've always played with sort of a chip on your shoulder. You've always dared people to doubt you through your entire career. So again, this offseason, there have been questions. Does Ben still have it? Can Ben still play? Can Ben connect on the deep ball? What does that do for you? Where are you right now in that? And is it still something that motivates you when people doubt you?
Well, dude, I think anybody that is told they can't do something, they're going to be motivated to go prove people wrong. So the other thing is, though, I've been doing this for long enough that you let it motivate you, but you don't let it like drive you or push you into just being so crazy that I got to just prove that person wrong. Because at the end of the day, you're just trying to win a football game. You're trying to win a championship. And so I'm going out to play for my teammates that are in the locker room on this field, playing for the fans. And so that's what it's about, going out there and giving everything I have and just having fun doing it.
Jenna Harner.
Ben, you mentioned some of the new guys being pretty impressive. Just what have you seen from Najee in the short time that you've worked with him, and what has he done that's really, impressed you, if there's been anything he's done up to this point?
Well, he's a really hard worker. He's in here extra long. I think the other day the running back coach told him, "Hey, Najee, I have to go home now." And that just shows that he's still in there watching film and he's constantly asking questions. And that's good. I mean, he doesn't seem lost. It's not like it's too big for him. His head's not spinning. I mean, he's asking questions, which is good, but he's out there and he's playing fast. And I think the most exciting part about Najee that I think we're all going to be excited to see is once he gets it and it clicks and he goes full speed, it's going to be something to see.
Noah Strackbean.
Hey, Ben, going back to the new offense, do you think what are the challenges in learning a new offense this late in your career? And do you think that maybe it's more challenging for you to kind of change the mold than it is for these new guys to come in and learn Matt Canada's offense?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's definitely harder when you've had, kind of the same offense or a very similar offense for 17 years. And then all of a sudden something looks the exact same, but it's called something completely different. It's very difficult. And it's a big challenge, but that's the game of football is learning new things and new challenges. Coach Canada's offense is one that hopefully will be a good one, and that we need to execute the plays that he calls. And hopefully we'll be better on offense than we were last year.
Rich Walsh.
Hey, Ben, how important is it for you to be here this time with these younger guys, with the team and the voluntary coaching sessions now?
Yeah, Rich, I'm here, I'm in town, so I might as well be here. Spending time with, we've got new centers. JC was here last year. Finney's been here in the past, but, KG's new, just to get some relationship with them. Obviously the receivers are guys that I know well, but there's still something to be said about being here. Just letting guys see you, speaking every so often to the group, breaking the offense down at the end of practice. Little things like that. To me, it was important to be here, and so that's why I'm here.
Nick Fairbaugh.
Hey, Ben, something that Matt Canada's offense has done in the past, in college, he's done a lot of motion, a lot of play action, rollouts. It's stuff you really haven't done a ton, really, since early in your career. I mean, how does that adjustment from, just straight shotgun or even playing under center, which is what Canada does a little bit more in his offense, how's that as an adjustment to what you kind of did in your past offenses?
Well, we've gone under center. We've got shotguns. I mean, yeah, he's got more motions, but I feel like that's, where the NFL is kind of going right now, a lot of the jet sweep motions and stuff. So, I can go under center. Never said I didn't like it. We'll be under center. We'll be in the gun. We'll move. I mean, we'll like I said earlier, we'll throw a lot of different looks and schemes and things at people and see what works.
Mark Caboli.
Hey, Ben, historically, you've been pretty good throwing the deep ball over your career. Last year, not so much. What was your reason for that? And did it have anything to do with the elbow at all, in your opinion?
Well, I was going to say, Mark, I had total reconstruction on my elbow. It might have something to do with it, but no excuses. It's my arm feels great though. I'd like to wait to answer that question until we get into more this season and see how it feels. Right now, it feels really good. I mean, my arm was healed. Obviously, I played. It was healthy, but I think anybody that has a big surgery, it almost takes like that year, that first year back, it's still, you're back, but are you really back and feeling great? So that's why I want to reserve to answer that question until we get into the season a little bit to really let you know how my arm feels, even compared to last year.
Chris Carter.
Ben, we've asked you a lot about the players that you're getting used to playing with, but you get the same basic receiving core with JuJu, James, you get Eric back. What was it like to see JuJu coming back, and what kind of conversations have you had with those guys about continuing what you guys have put together?
Yeah, I was really excited to get JuJu back. I felt like I was in his ear and in Coach Tomlin's ear a lot during that process, the last kind of 12, 24 hours of JuJu signing back here. To have a familiar face, a guy that, brings so much to this team. And, I don't know, is there a guy in the NFL that on third and medium to short to medium, you want in the ball in his hands as much as JuJu? I don't know. I can think of one. The what he gives to the passion that he gives to this city, to this team, to help us win is awesome. And he, as young as he is, he's the leader of that group. I mean, that's a young receiver group. We have a group text message group, the chat that goes around that we communicate with each other quite a bit and tease each other. I had him over and we played Pig at the house the other day, and I had to show him the old man still, it's hard to beat. So I like to let him remind him of those kind of things. But that group is a fun group. That's one of the reasons I said I wanted to come back, is because that's a special group, and I'm excited to really see what they can bring to this offense and this team this year.
Jeff Hathorn.
Hey, Ben, Marquise Pouncey not being there. How odd is that? And how long does it take to work in a new center and have that relationship?
Jeff, trying to make me cry? Is that what we're doing here? Talking about Pounce? It's I joked, I don't know that it's quite set in yet, that he's not here. Like, it almost just feels like, okay, he's not out here at practice right now. It'll set in. It's definitely weird to see a 53 in front of me. KG's wearing sometimes, or wearing it when he's in front of me. But it's going to be a tough thing to be out there and not have him, not just because of his football presence, but just his friendship and what he meant to all of us, me especially. So it's going to be different, but I think the other guys are excited for the challenge, and those are huge shoes. And that's what I would tell those guys, is don't try and fill those shoes, because those are unfillable. Be your own best version of you.
We'll get through the ones with their hands up now. So next up, Joe Rutter.
Yeah, Ben, last year, obviously your throwing program was a lot different because you're coming off surgery. Are you back to what you were doing before that? Are you back to a normal offseason program?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, last year I threw more. I threw thousands of balls in the offseason because we were rehabbing. And so this year it's gone back to just the normal routine of throwing here, doing a little bit kind of at home with the trainer, but mostly taking time off. I took a lot of time off from throwing this offseason. So I hope and think and really believe that it'll pay dividends this year.
Chris Adamski.
And going through what you went through, with the contract and everything, and being you kind of open up to the season and seeing your friends retire from the team, but just what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, Brady went to a different team, Rivers went to a different team before he retired. Is there value to you in your legacy and staying someplace? Do you see yourself ever? Would you consider, in a future at some point playing somewhere else, or is that not on the table at all?
Oh, Chris, I'm black and gold through and through. I didn't want to go anywhere. That's why I told the Rooneys and Coach Tomlin, I want to be here. I don't want to be anywhere else. I mean, this is home to me. I'll always bleed black and gold. Almost half my life has been here playing football for the Steelers, and that's why. It's why I was willing to. I told him to take a pay cut to stay here and to help this team, because this is what I believe in, this group and this city. And so, to each quarterback out there is to each their own. But to me, this is home, and that's why I'm honored to have my career be here.
Didi Kankabola.
Ben, can you, it's hard to follow up that one, but can you tell us what the process is of coming up with a new offense, having input? Any great coach is going to play to his quarterback's strengths. So how do you meld what Matt Canada brings in, and what do you say about what you like and what you want to do?
We've had quite a few communication. He's come over. We've talked. We've really just kind of, I told him, I said, I know this is your offense, and he's like, no, it's our offense. But I'm like, oh, it's yours, and I'm really just trying to do everything I can to be open and to the new challenge and say, okay, this is okay. I'm learning. Okay, got it. And if something is confusing or something doesn't quite make sense, rather than just be like, oh, I hate you. I'm okay. Talk to me. Tell me how I can better understand this, or how I can learn this, or learn the formation names, or what is your trick to learning things. And so we just have been constantly communicating. And he's been really good about, hey, Ben, if there's something you really don't like, just let me know, and we can either talk through it, or we can throw it out, or, so it's just been just communication. I think communication is key to anything. I've said that before, and that's what we've been doing. I think it's been going really well so far.
Final two, Brian Batko.
Yep. Ben, you mentioned Kendrick Green, being a new guy here. There's been a lot of change on the offensive line. It's not just Pounce, it's Al leaving as well. What's standing out to you so far about some of those new faces, or even the familiar faces who are maybe just in new roles?
The guys are working hard. They're busting their butt. They're here, and they're trying to get better, and that's what matters.
Final one, Brooke Pryor.
Yeah, Ben, you mentioned the new guys. You also have Dwayne Haskins now in the quarterback room. I know you guys haven't had a lot of time to work together, but what have you learned from him so far, and seeing some things in practice and meeting rooms, texts, things like that?
I was just telling Coach Sully the other day that his release and throwing motion mechanics are some of the prettiest I've ever seen. And I told him I wish I had that. Just everything he does, and he throws the ball. I joked he could throw it through a car wash and wouldn't get wet. He's learning it. It's obviously a new system for him. He's young in the league, but it's fun to have that young energy around. And like I said, it's when he throws the football, it's pretty.